Art of Letting Go, Master the Art of Surrender, and Unlock Your True Potential. 5. Spiritual Awakening Book 2. Author, Seraphina Hartwell. By Soul Sanctuary Audio. Copyright Seraphina Hartwell. Introduction. The Courage to Let Go. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, staring out into the vast unknown. Your heart races, not just from fear, but also from anticipation. Continue. You know that leaping could change everything. Yet something holds you back, the gnawing voice inside whispering, "What if I fall? What if I lose myself in the process?" This is where so many of us find ourselves, not on an actual cliff, but at a crossroads in life. We're caught between holding tightly to what feels safe and letting go to embrace what might set us free. For years, I was one of those people, clinging to control, trying to micromanage every detail of my existence, believing that if I worked harder, planned better, or stayed vigilant enough, I could guarantee success and happiness. But no matter how much effort I poured into shaping my world, there always seemed to be cracks forming beneath my feet. It wasn't until I learned the art of surrender that I discovered true freedom, and it changed my life forever. Surrender isn't about giving up. It's not about losing yourself or abandoning your dreams. Instead, it's about releasing the need to control outcomes and trusting that the universe has your back. It's about loosening your grip on the steering wheel long enough to realize that sometimes the road knows where it's going better than you do. And here's the beautiful paradox. When you let go, you don't lose yourself. You find more of who you truly are. In this book, Let Go, Rise Higher, The Art of Surrender Without Losing Yourself. We'll explore what surrender really means and why it's such a powerful tool for personal growth. Together, we'll dismantle the myths surrounding surrender, that it's weak, passive, or irresponsible, and replace them with a new understanding of its strength and wisdom. Through stories, exercises, and practical tools, you'll learn how to recognize the areas where resistance is holding you back and how to release them without sacrificing your ambitions or authenticity. Whether you're struggling with perfectionism, overwhelmed by uncertainty, or simply seeking deeper meaning and fulfillment, this book will guide you step by step toward embracing surrender as a path to rising higher. So take a deep breath. Open these pages with curiosity and courage. And remember, the act of surrender begins not with grand gestures, but with small, intentional steps. Are you ready to let go and rise higher? Part 1. Foundations of Surrender. Understanding what it really means. In a world that glorifies hustle culture and relentless control, surrender often gets misunderstood as weakness or giving up. But what if surrender is the key to unlocking your highest potential? What if letting go of fear, resistance, and outdated beliefs could lead to unprecedented success? Before we can truly practice surrender, we must first understand what it means and what it doesn't. In this foundational section, we dismantle common myths about control and effort, revealing how our attempts to micromanage life often create more stress than solutions. We then redefine surrender as an empowering choice, one that aligns us with divine timing, universal flow, and our deepest truths. These chapters lay the groundwork for everything that follows by exploring the spiritual, psychological, and energetic dimensions of surrender. Here, you'll gain clarity on why letting go isn't about abandoning ambition. It's about embracing faith, resilience, and possibility. Prepare to shift your perspective and open yourself to new ways of being. As we embark on this path together, remember, the moment offers an opportunity to let go and rise higher. Let's begin. 1. The myth of control. Why trying harder doesn't always work. The treadmill of effort. It's 2 a.m., and Sarah is sitting at her desk, staring blankly at the glowing screen. Her coffee cup, cold now, sits forgotten beside stacks of papers and sticky notes scribbled with reminders she'll never have time to address. She exhales sharply, rubbing her temples as if trying to physically push away the pressure building inside her skull. "I just need to get through this," she mutters under her breath, though no one else is there to hear it. "If I can just finish this proposal, everything will fall into place." But deep down, Sarah knows better. No matter how many late nights she logs or how meticulously she plans every detail, something always seems to slip through the cracks. A client changes their mind last minute. An email gets overlooked. Or worse, the project she poured months into fails to deliver the results she'd hoped for. And then what? More effort, more hours, more control. Sound familiar? The illusion of mastery. To understand why trying harder often backfires, we first need to examine where the myth of control comes from and why it feels so seductive. From a young age, most of us are conditioned to equate control with safety. Think about it. As children, we're praised for following rules, meeting expectations, and achieving goals. Whether it's acing a test, winning a sports game, or landing a coveted internship, we learn early on that outcomes are tied to actions, and that those actions must be carefully managed. This belief system serves us well until it doesn't. Life has a way of reminding us that not everything can be controlled. Relationships shift unexpectedly. Health challenges arise without warning. Global events disrupt even the best laid plans. Yet instead of adapting, many of us double down on control, convinced that if we try harder, longer, or smarter, we'll eventually bend reality to our will. Research backs this up. Psychologists refer to this tendency as illusory control, the cognitive bias that leads humans to overestimate their ability to influence external circumstance. For example, studies show that gamblers often believe they can sway the outcome of a dice roll by blowing on the die or throwing it a certain way, even though the result is purely random. Similarly, perfectionists may spend hours tweaking a presentation, believing details will guarantee approval from their boss or peers. While illusory control might provide temporary comfort, it ultimately sets us up for frustration. When life inevitably deviates from our plans, we blame ourselves, assuming we didn't try hard enough or weren't good enough. But here's the truth. Some things are beyond our grasp, and that's okay. The cost of clinging. So what happens when we refuse to let go? Beyond burnout and missed opportunities, the cost of clinging to control runs deeper than many realize. It erodes trust, not just in others, but in ourselves. Over time, the constant need to manage every variable chip away at our confidence, leaving us perpetually anxious about whether we're doing enough. Take Emma, a mother of two who prides herself on being the perfect parent. She schedules playdates, meal preps nutritious dinners, and volunteers at school events, all while maintaining a demanding career. On paper, her life looks enviable. Inside, however, she feels perpetually inadequate. Every minor misstep, a forgotten permission slip, a child's tantrum, that she's failing. Emma's story illustrates how control becomes a form of self-punishment. Holding herself to impossibly high standards, she denies herself grace and flexibility. Worse still, she inadvertently teaches her children that love and worthiness are conditional upon performance, a lesson they'll carry into adulthood. The irony is that none of these individuals, Sarah, Alex, or Emma, are inherently flawed. They're caught in a cycle fueled by fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. And until they confront these fears head-on, they'll continue spinning their wheels, exhausting themselves in pursuit of an illusion. Redefining success. By now, you may be wondering, if control isn't the answer, what is? That question lies at the heart of this book, and the journey begins with letting go of the myth itself. Surrender isn't about giving up or losing ground. It's about recognizing that true strength comes not from domination, but from adaptability, from trust, from faith in the process. In the chapters, we'll explore practical tools and strategies for releasing the grip of control. But for now, take a moment to reflect on your own relationship with effort. Where do you find yourself clinging too tightly? What would it feel like to loosen your hold, even just a little? Remember, surrender isn't a destination. It's a practice. And like any skill, it takes time to master. So as we move forward together, give yourself permission to experiment, stumble, and grow. Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop trying so hard and start trusting instead. Looking ahead, in the next chapter, we'll redefine surrender as an active, empowering choice rather than passive resignation. You'll discover how embracing uncertainty can enhance your sense of agency, opening doors you never knew existed. Until then, consider this. What would happen if you allowed yourself to step off the treadmill of effort, even for a single day? 2. What is surrender? Redefining a misunderstood concept. A moment of clarity. It's early morning, and the sun is just beginning to rise over the horizon. The world feels quiet, almost sacred, as light filters through the trees in soft, golden beams. James sits cross-legged on his yoga mat, eyes closed, hands resting gently on his knees, practicing meditation as part of his self-care routine. But today feels different. Today, something shifts. As he focuses on his breath, an image, a river flowing steadily toward the ocean. At first, the water moves freely, unhindered by obstacles. But then it encounters rocks and debris blocking its path. Instead of stopping or forcing its way through, the river adjusts, finding new channels around the barriers. It doesn't fight, it flows. James opens his eyes, startled by the clarity of the metaphor. Could surrender be like that river? Not a collapse into passivity, but a dynamic process of adaptation and alignment. For years, James had associated surrender with weakness. Growing up in a household where success was measured by grit and determination, he learned to equate letting go with failure. When life threw challenges his way, a strained relationship, a stalled career, he responded by doubling down on effort, convinced that persistence alone would see him through. Yet here he was, sitting quietly, realizing that maybe there was another way. The misconception of surrender. Surrender often carries a stigma. In popular culture, it's portrayed as giving up, the white flag waved in defeat. Movies depict characters who surrender only after exhausting every other option, their faces etched with resignation. Even in spiritual circles, the term can evoke images of renouncing worldly desires or abandoning personal ambition altogether. But what if surrender isn't about losing? What if it's about gaining freedom, perspective, and power? To redefine surrender, we must first strip away these misconceptions. True surrender isn't passive, it's active. It's not about relinquishing responsibility or abandoning goals. It's about releasing attachment to specific outcomes and trusting the unfolding of life. Think of it less as a retreat and more as a recalibration, a shift from resistance to flow. Psychologists refer to this state as adaptive flexibility, the ability to adjust one's approach based on changing circumstances. Because they work smarter. By letting go of rigid expectations, they remain open to opportunities that might otherwise pass them by. Consider the story of Maya, a graphic designer struggling to land clients despite her impressive portfolio. Frustrated by rejection after rejection, she decides to take a step back. Instead of obsessing over why people weren't hiring her, she began exploring new creative outlets, painting, photography, and poetry. One day, while sharing her artwork on social media, She caught the attention of a local entrepreneur looking for someone to design branding materials. Within months, Maya has built a thriving freelance business, not because she forced it, but because she allowed herself to explore without attachment to a particular result. Maya's journey illustrates how surrender can lead to unexpected breakthroughs. By loosening her grip on what she thought success should look like, she created space for something far greater to emerge. The anatomy of surrender. What does surrender look like in practice? To answer this question, let's break it down into 3 key components. 1. Awareness asterisk. Surrender begins with recognizing where you're holding on too tightly. This requires honest introspection. Are you clinging to a particular outcome because it validates your worth? Are you resisting change out of fear of the unknown? Awareness acts as a flashlight, illuminating the areas of your life where control has become counterproductive. 2. Release asterisk. Once you've identified these patterns, the next step is to release them, not all at once, but incrementally. The release doesn't mean erasing emotions or pretending everything is fine. On the contrary, it involves fully acknowledging your fears, frustrations, and desires before consciously choosing to set them aside. Imagine placing each burden into an imaginary boat and watching it drift downstream. You're not denying its existence. You're simply allowing it to move beyond you. 3. Trust asterisk. Finally, surrender requires trust, not blind faith, but informed confidence in the natural rhythms of life. Trust that even when things don't go according to plan, they still unfold as they're meant to. Trust that you have the resilience to navigate whatever comes your way. And trust that by letting go, you make room for possibilities you couldn't have anticipated. Let's revisit James for a moment. As he reflects on his meditation session, he realizes that surrender isn't about giving up on his dreams. It's about releasing the need to micromanage how those dreams manifest. Perhaps his stalled career isn't a sign of failure, but an invitation to pivot, to explore paths he hadn't considered before. With this newfound understanding, he feels a sense of relief, as though a weight has been lifted. The science behind letting go. If surrender sounds abstract, rest assured, science supports its benefits. Neuroscientific studies reveal that chronic stress caused by excessive control activates the amygdala, the brain's fear center, while suppressing activity in the prefrontal cortex, which governs decision-making and creativity. Over time, this imbalance leads to burnout, anxiety, and impaired problem-solving abilities. Conversely, practices associated with surrender, such as mindfulness, meditation, and journaling, activate the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting relaxation and mental clarity. These activities also increase gray matter density in regions of the brain linked to emotional regulation and empathy, enhancing our capacity to navigate uncertainty with grace. One particularly compelling study conducted at Harvard University examined the effects of mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, on participants facing significant life challenges. Researchers found that those who practiced MBSR reported reduced symptoms of depression and anxiety, along with improved overall well-being. Notably, many participants described feeling freer and more aligned with their true selves, a testament to the transformative power of surrender. From resistance to flow. Returning to the river metaphor, imagine standing ankle-deep in its current. If you dig your heels into the riverbed, resisting the pull of the water, you'll exhaust yourself trying to stay put. But if you relax and allow the current to guide you, you'll find carried effortlessly forward. Life operates much the same way. When we resist its natural flow through perfectionism, fear, or sheer stubbornness, we create friction that slows us down. Surrender, on the other hand, invites us to align with the currents already moving around and within us. It asks us to trust that the universe, or whatever higher power resonates with us, is conspiring in our favor, even when the path ahead seems unclear. Take Priya, a corporate executive who left her high-powered job to pursue a passion for sustainable fashion. Initially, she struggled to reconcile her decision with societal expectations, worried that others would judge her for stepping off the traditional career ladder. But as she embraced the uncertainty of entrepreneurship, she discovered a profound sense of purpose. Her brand gained traction, not because she forced it, but because she surrendered to the process, trusting that her vision would resonate with the right audience. Priya's story underscores a crucial point. Surrender isn't about lowering your standards or abandoning your ambitions. It's about shifting from a mindset of scarcity, I must control everything to succeed, to one of abundance, there are infinite ways to achieve my goals. Invitation to explore. By now, you may be in a new light, not as a form of weakness, but as a source of strength. It's not about giving up, it's about giving in to the wisdom of your intuition, the support of the universe, and the limitless potential within you. In the chapters, we'll dive deeper into practical tools and exercises to help you embody this concept. We'll explore how mindfulness, movement, and ritual can serve as gateways to surrender, guiding you toward greater peace and fulfillment. But for now, I invite you to reflect on your own relationship with control. Where are you resisting the flow of life? What might happen if you allowed yourself to trust, even just a little? Remember, surrender is not a single act, but a continuous practice. Like learning to ride a bike, it takes patience, balance, and a willingness to fall and get back up again. So as we move forward together, give yourself permission to experiment, stumble, and grow. Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop fighting so hard and start flowing instead. Looking ahead, in Chapter 3, we'll delve into the divine timing, exploring how surrender allows us to align with the universe. You'll discover how to recognize signs and synchronicities that confirm you're on the right path, and learn to trust that everything truly does perfect time. Until then, consider this. What would it feel like to let go of the need to rush and allow life to unfold? 3. Trusting the universe. How divine timing works in your favor. A seed planted in patience. It's a crisp autumn afternoon, and Mia is sitting on her porch staring at the small potted plant she bought weeks ago. She had grand plans for it, a lush green centerpiece for her living room, but so far, nothing has happened. The soil remains stubbornly barren, with no sprouts breaking through despite her diligent watering and careful placement in just the right amount of sunlight. I don't get it, she mutters, frustration creeping into her voice. I've done everything right. Why won't it grow? Her neighbor, an elderly woman named Ruth, happens to walk by with her dog. Noticing Mia's furrowed brow, Ruth pauses. What's got you stumped? She asks kindly. Mia gestures toward the pot. This thing won't grow. I've followed all the instructions, but it's like nothing's happening. Ruth chuckles softly, leaning on her cane. Ah, plants have their own timing, dear. You can water them and give them light, but they'll only grow when ready. Sometimes you trust that the root's underground, even if you can't see it. Mia frowns, unconvinced, but later that evening, as she sips tea and watches the sunset, could it be true? Could it play, quietly preparing the way for something beautiful? The paradox of waiting. In our fast-paced world, waiting feels almost unnatural. We're conditioned to expect instant results, overnight shipping, instant messaging, and streaming services that deliver entertainment at the click of a button. When it comes to our personal lives, however, things rarely unfold according to our timelines. And that's where divine timing enters the picture. Divine timing refers to the belief that events happen exactly when they're meant to, not necessarily when we want them to. It's the idea that life operates. While this concept might sound abstract or even woo-woo to some, it's rooted in ancient wisdom and modern science. Take the natural world, for example. Seasons change in perfect harmony. Flowers bloom only after enduring winter's dormancy. Even within our bodies, countless processes occur without conscious effort. Cells regenerate, hormones balance, wounds heal, all governed by intricate systems beyond our control. Life itself thrives on cycles and rhythms, each phase serving a purpose in the greater whole. When applied to human experience, divine timing suggests that delays, detours, and setbacks aren't signs of failure. They're part of the process. They create space for growth, reflection, and alignment. Think of them as the universe is saying, "Not yet, but soon." Stories of synchronicity. To illustrate how divine timing works, let's explore a few real-life examples. Case study number 1. The job that wasn't meant to be. Sophie had spent months preparing for what she believed was her dream job. She aced the interviews, impressed the hiring manager, and felt certain the offer was hers. But then, unexpectedly, the company went silent. Weeks passed with no response. Heartbroken and confused, Sophie poured her energy into freelance projects to make ends meet. Months later, she received an email from a completely different organization, one she hadn't actively pursued but admired deeply. They offered her a role that perfectly values long-term goals. Looking back, Sophie realized that losing out on the first opportunity had been a blessing in disguise. Had she accepted the initial job, she would have been available for the second, which was far more fulfilling. Case study number 2. Love found in unexpected places. For years, Ethan dated with the Hope One. He attended speed dating events, swiped endlessly on apps, and joined a matchmaking service. Yet every relationship fizzled out quickly, leaving him disheartened. Frustrated, he downed dating altogether, focusing instead on hobbies and friendships. One day, while volunteering at a community garden, he met someone who shared his passion for sustainability and social justice. Their connection was immediate and effortless. These stories highlight a common theme. Sometimes the best outcomes require patience and trust. We open ourselves to possibilities we couldn't have orchestrated, recognizing signs along the way. Of course, trusting divine timing doesn't mean sitting idly by and waiting for miracles. It means staying attuned to the subtle cues and synchronicities that guide us forward. These signs often appear: a chance encounter, a random advice, or even a fleeting thought that lingers longer than usual. Consider the story of Daniel, a writer struggling to finish his novel, wrestled with self-doubt, convinced that his work wasn't good enough. While browsing a bookstore, he stumbled upon a memoir by one of his favorite authors. In the acknowledgments, the author described facing similar fears during their own writing journey. Inspired, Daniel returned home and wrote nonstop for hours, finally completing the draft he'd been avoiding. Signs like these remind us that we're not alone, that the universe conspires to support us when we allow it. To cultivate awareness of such moments, try these practices. 1. Journaling asterisk. Keep a notebook handy to jot down anything unusual or meaningful that catches your attention. Over time, patterns may emerge. 2. Mindfulness asterisk. Practice being present in the moment. Often, signs are easy to miss because we're distracted by worries about the future or regrets about the past. 3. Gratitude asterisk. Shift your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. Gratitude amplifies your ability to notice positive synchronicities. The science of serendipity. While divine timing may seem mystical, research supports that seemingly random events often follow underlying patterns. A field known as complexity theory explores how small actions can lead to large-scale changes, a phenomenon often referred to as the butterfly effect. Similarly, studies in quantum physics suggest that particles interact in ways that defy traditional cause and effect relationships, hinting at a deeper interconnectedness in the fabric of reality. On a psychological level, humans possess an innate capacity for pattern recognition. Our brains are wired to seek meaning. We tend to interpret coincidences as significant. This isn't mere superstition. It's a survival mechanism designed to help us navigate uncertainty. By paying attention to recurring themes or symbols, we tap into a reservoir of intuitive knowledge that transcends logic. Trusting without losing control. For many, the challenge lies in balancing trust with action. Surrendering to divine timing doesn't mean abandoning ambition or responsibility. It means releasing attachment to specific outcomes, while remaining open to guidance. Picture yourself as a co-creator with the universe. You set intentions, take inspired action, and then step back to let the pieces fall into place. Let's return to Mia for a moment. After reflecting on Ruth's advice, she decides to stop obsessing over the plant and instead focuses on enjoying the process of nurturing it. She waters it less frequently, trusting that nature knows best. Then, one morning, she wakes up to find tiny green shoots poking through the soil. Tears well in her eyes as she realizes that patience off. An invitation to trust. As you move through this chapter and the rest of the book, I invite you to embrace the art of waiting. Instead of viewing delays as obstacles, see them as opportunities for preparation. Ask yourself, what am I learning during this pause? How might this moment be setting the stage for something greater? Asterisk. Remember, divine timing isn't about passively accepting whatever comes your way. It's about recognizing that life unfolds in its own time and trusting that the universe has your back. Next chapter, we'll delve into practical tools for identifying resistance and breaking free from limiting beliefs. Until then, consider this. What would it feel like to release the pressure of forcing things to happen and trust that everything will arrive exactly when it's meant to? Looking ahead, Chapter 4 will guide you through recognizing the signs of resistance in your life and provide actionable steps to overcome them. You'll learn how to identify the fears and doubts holding you back and discover how letting go of these barriers can pave the way for profound transformation. Stay tuned as we continue this journey together. Part 2. Identifying resistance. Recognizing where you're holding on too tight. Emma stood at the edge of her favorite park, watching the leaves dance in the crisp autumn breeze. She had spent weeks exploring the foundations of surrender, unraveling its meaning and purpose. Yet, as she gazed at the swirling colors around her, she realized that understanding surrender was only the beginning. The real work lay ahead, identifying where she and so many others were resisting life's natural flow. Section into the subtle and often unconscious ways resistance manifests in our lives. Whether it's clinging to control out of fear, battling inner conflicts between ego and soul, or being tethered to outdated beliefs, recognizing these patterns is essential for growth. Each chapter in this part will guide you through uncovering your own, offering tools and insights to help you let go with intention and grace. Resistance can feel like an anchor, weighing us down and keeping us stuck. But awareness brings power, the power to release what no longer serves us and step into alignment with who we truly are. By shining a light on the places where we hold too tightly, we create space for transformation. Prepare to explore the signs of resistance, confront the battle within, and break free from the stories that bind you. It's time to recognize where you're holding on and choose instead to let go. 4 signs you're resisting the flow of life. The morning sun filtered through the blinds, casting long shadows across the room. Emma sat at her desk, staring at a blank document on her computer screen. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard, yet no words came. It wasn't writer's block. It was something deeper, a gnawing sensation that whispered she was swimming against an invisible current. In this chapter, we explore the subtle and not-so-subtle signs that indicate resistance to life's natural flow. Through Emma's journey, we'll uncover common indicators of resistance and provide practical self-assessment tools to help you identify where you might be holding on too tightly. The weight of resistance. Emma had always prided herself on her meticulous planning and unyielding determination. Yet, lately, every task felt like dragging a boulder uphill. Chronic stress clung to her like a second skin, manifesting in sleepless nights and an ever-present tension headache. Signs of resistance, asterisk. Chronic stress, asterisk, persistent anxiety and overwhelm, even when there's no immediate threat. Perfectionism, asterisk, an unrelenting pursuit of flawlessness that stifles creativity and progress. Procrastination, asterisk, avoidance behaviors that stem from fear of failure or inadequacy. Emma's world was unraveling thread by thread, and she couldn't understand why. She remembered her mentor's words. Sometimes the harder you push, the more life pushes back. Self-assessment, recognizing your patterns. Determined to find clarity, Emma decided to take stock of her life. She grabbed a notebook and began a series of self-assessment questions to illuminate her. Self-assessment questions, asterisk. 1. Do you often feel overwhelmed by tasks that once seemed manageable? 2. Are you frequently dissatisfied with your achievements, no matter how significant they are? 3. Do you find yourself delaying important decisions or actions? As Emma jotted down her responses, patterns emerged, patterns she hadn't noticed before. Her perfectionism was paralyzing her, turning simple tasks into Herculean efforts. Case studies, stories of stagnation. To further illustrate these concepts, let's delve into a few case studies of individuals stuck in cycles of resistance. Case study 1, Sarah's perfectionist trap. Sarah, a graphic designer, spent hours tweaking minute details of her projects. Her quest for perfection left her exhausted and perpetually behind schedule. Only when she embraced imperfection did she find joy and efficiency in her work. Case study 2, Mark's procrastination pitfall. Mark, an entrepreneur, avoided launching his business due to fears of failure. His procrastination led to missed opportunities until he learned to break tasks into manageable steps, allowing him to move forward without feeling overwhelmed. Emma read these stories with a mix of recognition and relief. She wasn't alone in her struggles. Others had walked this path and found their way out. Awareness, the first step toward transformation. Emma realized that awareness was her first step toward change. Her resistance, she could begin to dismantle it piece by piece. This realization was both daunting and liberating. Resistance is like a shadow, Emma mused. It only exists because you're standing in the light. Turn around, and you'll see the source of illumination. Practical exercises, identifying and releasing resistance. To aid readers in their journeys, here are some practical exercises. Exercise 1, the Resistance Journal. Spend 5 minutes writing about areas where you feel stuck or overwhelmed. Note any recurring themes or emotions. Exercise 2, the Letting Go Ritual. Write down what you're resisting on a piece of paper. Burn the paper as a symbolic act of release, focusing on the intention to let go. Emma practiced these exercises, finding solace in the ritualistic act of burning her written fears. Each flame represented a step toward freedom, a surrender to the flow of life. Conclusion: embracing the flow. By the end of the chapter, Emma felt a renewed sense of hope. Understanding her resistance was empowering. It gave her the tools to navigate her life. As she closed her journal, Emma whispered to herself, "Awareness is power, and with power comes the ability to change." This chapter is a pivotal moment in our narrative, bridging the foundational understanding of surrender with actionable insights. As Emma continues her journey, readers are invited to join her in recognizing and releasing their resistance, paving the way for a life aligned with purpose and peace. 5. The ego versus the soul. Unpacking the battle within. The morning light filtered through Emma's window, casting a soft glow over her cluttered workspace. She sat with her journal open, pen poised above the page, yet unable to write. Her mind was a battlefield, her ego screaming for control, while her soul whispered of surrender. In this chapter, the internal conflict between the ego and the soul. Through Emma's journey, we will uncover how the ego clings to control out of fear of uncertainty, contrasted with the soul's desire for expansion, growth, and freedom. We'll provide readers with tools to distinguish between ego-driven fears and soul-aligned choices, advancing their understanding and practice of surrender. The ego's grip. Emma felt the familiar tug of anxiety as she stared at her blank journal. Her thoughts raced, each one louder than the last. "You need to have everything figured out." Her inner voice insisted. "Failure is not an option." Ego-driven behaviors, asterisk. Fear of uncertainty, asterisk. The ego thrives on predictability and control, fearing the unknown. Attachment to outcomes, asterisk, and obsessive focus on specific results rather than the process. Comparison and competition, asterisk, constantly measuring oneself against others, leading to dissatisfaction. Emma recognized these patterns in herself. Her relentless pursuit of perfection and control had left her exhausted and disconnected from her true self. The soul's whisper. Amidst the chaos, a softer voice emerged. It spoke of trust, flow, and the beauty of the unknown. Emma paused, listening intently. Soul-aligned desires. Expansion and growth, a yearning for experiences that broaden horizons and foster personal development. Freedom and authenticity. Living in alignment with one's true values and desires, free from societal expectations. Connection and compassion. Deepening relationships with oneself and others through empathy and understanding. Emma realized that her soul craved something more profound than the fleeting satisfaction of external achievements. Dialogue. The inner conversation. Emma decided to this internal dialogue, hoping to understand it better. Emma, ego. If I let go, everything will fall apart. I'll lose control. And then what? Emma, soul. What if letting go allows you to gain something far greater? Trust that the universe has your back. Emma, ego. But what about my goals? My plans? Emma, soul. Your goals are still important, but don't define you. Let them guide you, not confine you. This conversation illuminated the constant tug-of-war within Emma, a battle many readers would recognize in themselves. V.S. Distinguishing between ego and soul. To help readers navigate their own internal conflicts, we offer practical tools and exercises. Exercise 1. The ego, soul audit. Write down recent decisions or actions driven by fear or control. Reflect on how these choices made you feel and EIR outcomes. Identify moments when you acted from a place of authenticity and freedom. Exercise 2. Meditation for our clarity. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Focus on your breath, allowing thoughts to come and go without attachment. Ask yourself, Is this thought serving my highest good? Listen for the answer. Emma practiced these exercises, finding clarity and peace in the process. Each session brought her closer to distinguishing between the noise of her ego and the wisdom of her soul. Case studies, stories of transformation. Case study 1. Rachel's journey to authenticity. Rachel, a corporate lawyer, felt trapped in a career that no longer fulfilled her. Her ego feared the financial instability of pursuing our passion for art. By embracing her soul's desire for creativity, she transitioned to a fulfilling career as an artist, finding joy and purpose. Case study 2. James' leap of faith. James, a successful entrepreneur, faced burnout from his relentless drive for success. Listening to his soul's call for balance, he implemented mindful practices and redefined success on his terms, leading to renewed energy and fulfillment. These stories resonated with Emma, reinforcing the transformative power of a lignin. G with one's soul. Conclusion: quieting the ego to hear the soul. By the end of the chapter, Emma felt a shift within herself. Understanding her ego and soul empowered her to make conscious choices aligned with her authentic self. As she closed her journal, Emma reflected, the battle within is not about winning or losing. It's about listening and choosing wisely. 6. Breaking free from limiting beliefs. R. Releasing old stories. Introduction. The morning sun cast a golden hue over Emma's small apartment. She sat cross-legged on the floor, surrounded by journals and scattered papers. Each page was a testament to years of thoughts, fears, and dreams. Some realized, others abandoned. Today, she felt an urge to confront the stories that had shaped her life, the narratives that spurred she wasn't enough. In this chapter, the subconscious beliefs that keep us trapped, in controlling behaviors. Through Emma's journey, with journaling prompts, uncover hidden narratives and offer strategies for reframing disempowering thoughts into empowering ones. The weight of old stories. Emma opened one of her oldest journals, its pages yellowed with time. Her younger self had written fervently about her dreams and fears. One entry caught her: I'll never be as successful as my peers. That belief had haunted her for years, subtly influencing her choices and fueling her relentless need for control. Limiting beliefs. Not good enough, a pervasive feeling of inadequacy despite achievements. Fear of failure, an overwhelming dread that prevents taking risks. Perceived unworthiness, the belief that one does and deserve happiness or success. Emma recognized these patterns within herself. They were the invisible chains binding her to a life of stress and dissatisfaction. Dialogue. Confronting inner narratives. Determined to understand these beliefs, Emma, in an internal dialogue, hopes to unearth their origins. Emma, inner critic. You're not smart enough. You'll never succeed. Emma, curious self. Where did you come from? Why do you feel the need to protect me? This conversation revealed that many of her limiting beliefs stemmed from childhood experiences and societal expectations. By acknowledging there are buts, Emma began to loosen their grip. Journaling. G prompts. Uncovering hidden narratives. To help readers uncover their limiting beliefs, we provide journaling prompts designed to bring subconscious thoughts to light. Journaling prompts. 1. Write about a time when you felt inadequate. What triggered those feelings? 2. List 3 beliefs about yourself that might be holding you back. 3. Reflect on where these beliefs originated. Are they based on facts or assumptions? Emma spent hours writing, each prompt peeling back layers of her psyche. She discovered that many fears were based on unfounded assumptions rather than reality. Strategies for reframing thoughts. Understanding the origins of her beliefs was only the first step. Emma needed tools to reframe these thoughts into airing narratives, reframing strategies, affirmations, positive statements that counteract negative beliefs. Asterisk visualization. Imagining scenarios where you successfully overcome challenges. Gratitude practice. Asterisk focusing on what you have rather than lack. Emma practiced these strategies daily. Each affirmation and visualization session brought her closer to rewriting her internal script. Case studies, transformative journeys. To further illustrate these concepts, let's explore case studies of individuals who successfully broke free from limiting beliefs. Case study 1. Laura's journey to confidence. Laura, a talented artist, believed she wasn't skilled enough to pursue her passion professionally. Through journaling and affirmations, she reframed her belief, eventually showcasing her work in galleries and gaining recognition. Case study 2. Tom's leap into entrepreneurship. Burdened by the fear of failure, Tio started his own business. Visualizing success and practicing gratitude, he overcame his fears, launching a thriving venture that aligned with his values. These stories resonated with Emma, reinforcing the transformative power of reframing beliefs. Conclusion: rewriting your story. By the end of the chapter, Emma felt lighter, as if she had shed an old skin. Understanding and reframing her limiting beliefs empowered her to move forward with renewed confidence and clarity. As she closed her journal, Emma reflected, "Our stories shape us, but they don't have to define us. We have the power to rewrite them." 7 daily practices for cultivating surrender. The first light of dawn painted Emma's room in hues of orange and pink. She stood by the window, sipping her tea, feeling a mix of anticipation and calm. Today was the day she would begin weaving surrender into the fabric of her everyday life. In this chapter, we delve into mindfulness practices like breath work, meditation, and visualization, offering guided exercises for grounding and releasing tension. We also suggest rituals such as writing letters to release fears or setting intentions for surrender. Through Emma's journey, we will learn how small daily actions can create significant shifts over time. Morning rituals, setting the tone. Emma decided to start her day with a simple yet powerful practice, mindful breathing. She sat on her yoga mat, closed her eyes, and focused on her breath. Mindful breathing exercise, asterisk. 1. Find a comfortable seated position. 2. Inhale deeply through your nose, counting to 4. 3. Hold your breath for 4 counts. 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 counts. 4. Repeat for 5 minutes, focusing solely on your breath. As Emma practiced, she felt her body relax and her mind clear. The world outside seemed less daunting, more manageable. Meditation, connecting with inner peace. After her breathing exercise, Emma moved on to meditation. She had always been skeptical, but decided to give it a try, hoping to find some inner peace. Guided meditation, script, asterisk. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Visualize a gentle stream flowing past you. Imagine placing each worry, fear, and thought onto a leaf and watching it float away. Breathe deeply and feel the weight lifting from your shoulders. Emma followed the script, visualizing her worries drifting downstream. By the end, she felt lighter, more centered. Visualization, envisioning success. Visualization was next on Emma's list. She had read about athletes using this technique to enhance performance and wondered if it could help her too. Visualization exercise, asterisk. Close your eyes and imagine a scene where you achieve your goal. Engage all your senses. What do you see, hear, smell, touch, and taste? Feel the emotions associated with this success. Open your eyes and carry that feeling with you throughout the day. Emma envisioned herself confidently presenting her book at a launch event. The vivid imagery filled her with excitement and motivation. Dialogue, sharing insights. Later that day, Emma met her friend Sarah for coffee. They discussed their morning routines, and Emma shared her new practices. Emma asterisk, I started meditating today. It was strange at first, but I felt so much calmer afterward. Sarah asterisk, that's amazing. I've been doing visualization exercises, and they really help me stay focused on my goals. Their conversation reinforced the power of these practices, encouraging Emma to continue exploring. Rituals, writing letters, and setting intentions. Inspired by Sarah, Emma decided to incorporate more rituals into her routine. That evening, she wrote a letter to her fears, releasing them onto paper. Writing exercise. Letter to your fears. Write a letter addressing your fears directly. Acknowledge their presence, but assert your intention to let them go. Burn or safely discard the letter as a symbolic act of release. Emma also set an intention for surrender, writing it down and placing it somewhere visible. Setting intentions, asterisk. Write down what you wish to surrender to. Place the note where you'll see it daily, reminding yourself of your commitment. These rituals provided Emma with a tangible way to engage with her journey of surrender. Case studies, stories of transformation. To further illustrate the impact of daily practices, we explore case studies of individuals who transformed their lives through consistent effort. Case study 1, Mark's journey to mindfulness. Mark, a high-stress executive, incorporated daily meditation into his routine. Over time, he noticed reduced anxiety and improved decision-making skills, leading to greater professional success. Case study 2, Lisa's path to clarity. Lisa, overwhelmed by personal challenges, began journaling and setting daily intentions. Her clarity and focus improved, helping her navigate life's complexities with grace. These stories resonated with Emma, reinforcing the transformative potential of daily practices. Conclusion: small actions, big shifts. By the end of the chapter, Emma felt a profound shift within herself. These small daily actions were creating ripples of change, guiding her toward a life of greater peace and purpose. As she prepared for bed, Emma reflected, surrender isn't a destination, it's a journey woven into the moments of our days. 8. Surrender through movement. Yoga, dance, and embodiment. Introduction. The morning sun cast a soft glow over Emma's living room, where she had laid out her yoga mat. She felt an unfamiliar energy coursing through her body, a mix of anticipation and curiosity. Today, she would explore surrender, not just in thought but in movement. In this chapter, we delve into how physical movement helps release emotional blockages and reconnect with the body to access deeper states of flow. Through Emma's journey, we will learn simple yoga sequences and dance exercises designed to promote surrender, illustrating that physical expression can be a powerful gateway to spiritual liberation. The awakening of the body. Emma began her practice with gentle stretches, feeling each muscle awaken. Her breath synchronized with her movements, creating a rhythm that felt both foreign and natural. Yoga sequence for grounding asterisk. 1. Mountain pose, Tadasana, stand tall, feet hip-width apart, arms at your sides. Feel rooted to the ground. 2. Forward fold, Uttanasana, hinge at your hips, letting your upper body hang loosely. Allow gravity to pull tension from your head and neck. 3. Child's pose, Balasana, kneel on the floor, sit back on your heels, and stretch your arms forward. Breathe deeply, releasing any residual stress. As Emma moved through these poses, she noticed her thoughts quieting, replaced by a profound sense of presence. Dance, the the language of the soul. After her yoga session, Emma decided to try something new: dance. She put on her favorite music and let her body move freely, without judgment or structure. Dance exercise for emotional release, **. Choose a song that resonates with you emotionally. Close your eyes and let your body respond naturally to the music. Focus on how each movement feels rather than how it looks. Allow yourself to express emotions through motion, whether joy, sadness, or anger. Emma found herself swaying, twirling, and even laughing as she danced. Each movement seemed to loosen another knot of tension within her. Dialogue, sharing experiences. Later that day, Emma met her friend Mia, who was also exploring movement as a form of therapy. Emma **, I tried dancing today. It felt so liberating, like I was shedding layers of stress. Mia **, that's wonderful. I've been doing yoga for years, and it's amazing how it centers me. Have you tried any specific sequences? Their conversation deepened Emma's understanding of how different forms of movement could serve as tools for surrender. Embodiment, reconnecting with the self. Emma realized that her journey wasn't just about physical activity. It was about reconnecting with her body as a vessel of wisdom and intuition. Embodiment exercise, body scan meditation. Lie down comfortably and close your eyes. Starting from your toes, mentally scan each part of your body. Notice any sensations, tensions, or emotions without judgment. Breathe into those areas, inviting relaxation and awareness. This exercise helped Emma tune into her body's signals, fostering a deeper connection between her mind and spirit. Case studies, stories of transformation. To further illustrate the transformative power of movement, we explore case studies of individuals who found liberation through yoga and dance. Case study 1, Rachel's journey to peace. Rachel, overwhelmed by anxiety, discovered yoga as a way to manage her symptoms. Regular practice helped her find inner peace and resilience, transforming her approach to life's challenges. Case study 2, James' path to joy **. James, burdened by grief, turned to dance therapy. Moving his body allowed him to process his emotions, leading to renewed joy and vitality. These stories resonated with Emma, reinforcing the idea that movement could be a profound catalyst for change. Conclusion: embodying surrender. By the end of the chapter, Emma felt a profound shift within herself. Movement had opened new pathways to surrender, allowing her to release pent-up emotions and connect more deeply with her authentic self. As she prepared for bed, Emma reflected, surrender isn't just a mental act. It's a physical one too. My body knows things my mind hasn't yet understood. 9. Journaling for release. Writing your way to freedom. Introduction. The soft glow of Emma's desk lamp illuminated the pages of her journal as she sat in quiet contemplation. The day had been long, but she felt a pull, a gentle urging from within, to write. Not just any writing, but the kind that would peel back layers of emotion and reveal truths hidden beneath the surface. In this chapter, we explore how journaling can serve as both a tool for catharsis and creation. Through structured exercises, we will learn to process emotions, clarify desires, and release what no longer serves them. The power of pen and paper. Emma opened her journal and stared at the blank page before her. She hesitated for a moment, then began to write without filter or judgment. Structured journaling exercise. Emotional release. 1. Set a timer **. Allow yourself 10 minutes of uninterrupted writing. 2. Write freely **. Put pen to paper and let your thoughts flow without editing. 3. Reflect ** after the timer ends. Read what you've written and underline key insights or recurring themes. As Emma wrote, tears welled up unexpectedly. Words poured out, fears, frustrations, hopes, all tangled together. By the end, she felt lighter, as if she had released a weight she hadn't realized she was carrying. Templates for transformation. To guide readers further, we provide templates designed to foster clarity and healing. Gratitude list template asterisk. Write down 3 things you are grateful for today. Describe why each item brings you joy or comfort. Reflect on how gratitude shifts your perspective. Emma filled out her gratitude list, finding solace in acknowledging the small blessings of her day. It shifted her focus from lack to abundance. Forgiveness letter template asterisk. Address the letter to someone who has wronged you, or even to yourself. Express your feelings honestly but with compassion. End with a statement of forgiveness, releasing the burden of resentment. Writing a forgiveness letter to herself was particularly powerful for Emma. She acknowledged past mistakes with kindness, freeing herself from self-imposed guilt. Vision board journal entry asterisk. Close your eyes and visualize your ideal future. Write down everything you see, feel, and experience in this vision. Use these details to create a written vision board that inspires action. Emma's vision board entry painted a vivid picture of her dreams. Each word fueled her determination to move forward with purpose. Dialogue, sharing insights. Later that week, Emma met her friend Claire for coffee. They discussed their journaling practices, exchanging tips and experiences. Emma asterisk. I started keeping a gratitude list. It sounds simple, but it really changes how I view my day. Asterisk. Claire asterisk. That's wonderful. I've been writing forgiveness letters. It's amazing how much lighter I feel afterward. Their conversation highlighted the diverse ways journaling could be used for emotional release and personal growth. Case studies, stories of healing. To illustrate the transformative power of journaling, we delve into case studies of individuals who found liberation through writing. Case study 1, Sarah's journey to self-discovery. Sarah, overwhelmed by anxiety, began journaling daily. Her entries revealed patterns of negative thinking, allowing her to address underlying issues and find peace. Case study 2, Mark's path to forgiveness. Mark, burdened by past grievances, wrote forgiveness letters to those who had hurt him. This practice helped him heal old wounds and embrace a more positive outlook on life. These stories resonated with Emma, reinforcing the idea that journaling could be a profound catalyst for change. Conclusion: writing toward freedom. By the end of the chapter, Emma felt a profound shift within herself. Journaling had become a sanctuary where she could confront her fears, celebrate her joys, and envision her future. As she closed her journal, Emma reflected, writing isn't just about putting words on paper. It's about setting my soul free. Part 4, Rising Higher, Harnessing the Power of Surrender. Surrender is not an endpoint, it's a gateway to rising higher. In this final section, we delve into how surrender amplifies productivity, fulfillment, and authenticity without sacrificing ambition or drive. You'll learn to balance effort and ease, aligning your actions with your purpose and values. Through inspiring success stories and practical advice, these chapters demonstrate how surrender leads to living authentically and making decisions with clarity and confidence. We'll also frame surrender as a lifelong practice, equipping you with strategies to navigate future challenges with grace and openness. As you embrace continuous growth, you'll unlock infinite possibilities and step into your highest self. 10 Surrender without sacrifice, balancing effort and ease. Introduction. Emma stood at her kitchen counter, sipping her morning coffee. The aroma filled the air, mingling with the soft hum of birdsong outside her window. She felt a renewed sense of clarity after weeks of practicing surrender, yet a lingering question remained. Could she maintain her ambition while embracing this newfound ease? In this chapter, we address the fear that surrender might lead to a loss of drive or ambition. Through Emma's journey, readers will learn how surrender enhances productivity and fulfillment by aligning efforts with purpose. We'll share success stories of individuals who achieved more after letting go, illustrating that surrender amplifies results when paired with intentional action. The fear of losing ambition. Emma had always equated hard work with success. The idea of surrender initially made her uneasy. Would it mean giving up on her dreams? This fear is common among those new to the concept of surrender. Addressing common fears, loss of drive, many worry that surrender will dampen their motivation. Abandoning goals, there's a misconception that surrender means giving up on ambition. Perceived laziness, some fear being perceived as lazy or uncommitted. Emma realized these fears stemmed from societal conditioning that equates worth with relentless effort. Dialogue. Conversations with her mentor. Seeking clarity, Emma reached out to her mentor, Sarah, for guidance. Emma I'm afraid that if I let go, I'll lose my edge. How do I balance surrender with ambition? Sarah surrender isn't about abandoning your goals. It's about aligning your efforts with your true purpose. When you let go of what doesn't serve you, you make room for what does. This conversation reassured Emma that surrender could coexist with ambition, enhancing rather than hindering her progress. Success stories. Achieving more by letting go. To further illustrate this point, we explore case studies of individuals who found greater success through surrender. Case Study 1. Mark's Journey to Entrepreneurial Success. Mark, a driven entrepreneur, constantly pushed himself to the brink of burnout. By incorporating surrender practices like meditation and mindfulness, he learned to trust the process. This shift led to innovative ideas and business growth. Case Study 2. Lisa's Path to Creative Fulfillment. Lisa, a writer struggling with creative blocks, embraced surrender by setting aside rigid writing schedules. She allowed inspiration to guide her, resulting in a best-selling novel that resonated deeply with readers. These stories inspired Emma, showing her that surrender could amplify her effort. Balancing effort and ease. Emma decided to experiment with balancing effort and ease in her daily life. She areas where she applies surrender without compromising her goals. Strategies for Bala. NCE*. Mindful planning ***, set clear intentions, but remain open to adjust. Ments. Intentional breaks ***, schedule regular breaks to recharge and gain fresh perspectives. Delegation ***, trust others to handle tasks, freeing time for high-impact activities. Emma practiced these strategies, finding that they enhanced her productivity and creativity. She no longer felt the need to control every detail, trusting that things would unfold as they should. 11. Living authentically. Walking your path with clarity. The morning sun filtered through the curtains, casting a warm glow over Emma's cozy living room. She sat cross-legged on the floor, her journal open before her. Each page was a testament to her journey of surrender, a mosaic of emotions, insights, and breakthroughs. Today, she felt ready to take the next step, living authentically. Why? In this chapter, surrender leads to greater authenticity and self-trust. Through Emma's journey, readers will learn tips for making decisions aligned with core values and intuition, reinforcing that surrender doesn't mean abandoning goals and pursuing them differently. This daily life empowers readers to live with purpose, clarity, and alignment. Section 1. The Journey to Authenticity. Emma reflected on her path thus far. Surrender had taught her to release the need for control, but it also revealed something deeper: the importance of living in alignment with her true self. Authenticity is not about perfection. It's about embracing who you are at your core and allowing that truth to guide your choice. Understanding authenticity *. Self-awareness * knowing your values, strengths, and desires. Self-awareness is the foundation of authenticity because it requires you to look inward and recognize what truly matters to you. Without this awareness, it's easy to drift into patterns dictated by external expectations or societal norms. Integrity * acting in accordance with your beliefs, even when challenging. Integrity ensures that your actions reflect your inner truth, creating harmony between who you are and how you are in the world. Vulnerability * embracing your true self without fear of judgment. Vulnerability is often misunderstood as weakness, but it's actually a profound act of courage. When you allow yourself to be seen as you are, you invite deeper connections and opportunities for growth. Emma realized that authenticity wasn't about being perfect, about being real. It meant honoring her inner voice and trusting her instincts. For many people, including Emma, this realization comes after years of suppressing their true selves in favor of fitting into molds created by others. By choosing authenticity, Emma began a life that felt genuinely her. Section 2. Dialogue. Conversations with her inner self. Determined to deepen her understanding, Emma engaged in an internal dialogue, seeking clarity and guidance. This conversation became a pivotal moment in her journey toward authentic living. Emma, inner critic. What if people don't like the real you? What if you fail? The inner critic represents the fears and doubts that arise when we consider stepping outside our comfort zones. These voices often stem from past experiences of rejection or failure, making us hesitant to embrace vulnerability. Emma, authentic self. Failure is part of growth. Being true to myself is more important than pleasing others. The authentic self speaks from a place of wisdom and courage, reminding us that staying true to ourselves is ultimately more fulfilling than seeking external validation. Tie-in. This exchange illuminated the fears that had once held Emma back, empowering her to move forward with courage and conviction. This dialogue illustrates a universal struggle between conforming to external pressures and listening to our inner truth. By acknowledging and addressing these conflicting voices, readers can dismantle the barriers to authenticity and build trust in their intuition. Section 3. Decision-making aligned with core values. To help readers make decisions that reflect their authentic selves, making value-aligned decisions is essential for living authentically because it ensures that your actions are rooted in what truly matters to you. Tips for value-aligned decisions *. Clarify your values *. List the principles most important to you. Are they freedom, creativity, connection, or revise? Identifying your core values provides a compass for navigating life's challenges and opportunities. Evaluate choices *. Consider how each option aligns with these values. For example, if family is one of your top priorities, does a demanding job compromise your ability to spend quality time with loved ones? Trust your intuition *. Pay attention to gut feelings and emotional responses. Your intuition often knows what's best for you long before your rational mind catches up. Emma practiced these strategies, finding that decisions made from a place of authenticity felt lighter and more fulfilling. Instead of second-guessing herself or worrying about external opinions, she trusted her inner guidance system to lead her in the right tie-in. Section 4. Guided Exercise, Creating a Values Compass. To assist readers in aligning their actions with their core values, we offer a guided exercise designed to clarify priorities and foster intentional decision-making. Exercise, Values Compass. 1. Identify core values, *, write down 5 values that resonate deeply with you. Examples might include honesty, compassion, adventure, balance, or contribution. 2. Reflect on current choices, *, assess recent decisions regarding these values. Do your current habits, relationships, and commitments reflect what's most important to you? 3. Adjust accordingly, *, make changes to ensure your actions reflect your priorities. For instance, if health is a core value, but you've been exercising, commit to incorporating small, sustainable changes into your routine. Emma completed this exercise, gaining clarity on which activities truly mattered and which ones she could let go of. This process helped her streamline her life, focusing only on what brought her joy and fulfillment. Section 5. Case Studies, Stories of Authentic Living. To further illustrate the transformative power of authenticity, we explore case studies of individuals who embraced their true selves and reaped the rewards of living authentically. Case Study 1. Rachel's Journey to Self-Discovery. Overwhelmed by societal expectations, Rachel embarked on a journey of self-discovery. She left a high-paying corporate job to pursue her passion for social entrepreneurship. By aligning her career with her core values of impact and community, she found fulfillment and success beyond measure. Case Study 2. James' Path to Purpose. Disillusioned by his corporate job, James followed his passion for environmental conservation. He started a nonprofit organization dedicated to protecting endangered ecosystems. Living authentically led him to a rewarding career with his values and purpose, proving that following your heart can lead to extraordinary achievements. These stories inspired Emma, showing her authenticity could lead to a more meaningful life. No matter where they are on their journey, embracing their true selves opens doors to infinite possibilities. Conclusion: embracing your true path. By the end of the chapter, Emma felt a profound shift within herself. Living authentically had become her guiding principle, leading her to make choices that resonated with her true self. As she closed her journal, Emma reflected, surrender isn't about losing yourself. It's about finding your true path and walking it with clarity. This chapter reinforces that surrender is not a passive act, but a dynamic process that empowers you to live authentically and purposefully. Aligning your actions with your core values and trusting your intuition, you can navigate life with confidence and grace. 12. Surrender as a lifelong practice, embracing continuous growth. The morning light streamed through Emma's window, casting long, golden streaks across her room. She sat quietly, reflecting on the journey she had undertaken. Each chapter of her life thus far had been a stepping stone, leading her to this moment of profound understanding. Surrender was not a destination but a continuous journey. In this final chapter, we frame surrender as an ongoing practice rather than a one-time event. Through Emma's experiences, readers will gain advice for navigating future challenges with grace and openness. We'll conclude with inspiring reflections on the infinite potential unlocked through surrender. This chapter serves as both a culmination of the lessons learned throughout the book and a launching pad for readers to continue their personal growth beyond its pages. Section 1. The Ongoing Journey of Surrender. Emma realized that surrender wasn't something you mastered overnight. It required constant attention and nurturing, much like tending to a garden. Just as plants need water, sunlight, and care to thrive, so too does our ability to surrender require regular cultivation. Understanding surrender as continuous asterisk. Daily commitment asterisk. Just as physical health requires regular exercise, spiritual and emotional well-being demands consistent surrender. By making surrender a daily habit, whether through mindfulness practices, gratitude exercises, or simply pausing to breathe, you create a foundation for lasting transformation. Adaptability asterisk. Life is ever-changing, and so too must our approach to surrender evolve. What works in one season of life may not work in another, and flexibility becomes key to staying aligned with your authentic self. Growth mindset asterisk. Viewing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles allows us to embrace surrender as a tool for expansion. Instead of resisting difficulties, we can see them as invitations to deepen our trust in ourselves and the universe. Emma embraced these principles, finding comfort in the idea that surrender was a lifelong companion on her journey. Rather than feeling overwhelmed by the prospect of continual effort, she felt empowered knowing that each small act of surrender contributed to her overall sense of peace and fulfillment. Section 2. Dialogue. Conversations with her inner guide. Determined to deepen her understanding, Emma engaged in an internal dialogue, seeking guidance for the road ahead. This conversation became a source of clarity and reassurance as she prepared to face whatever lay ahead. Emma, curious self, how do I continue surrendering when new challenges arise? This question reflects a common concern among those who fear they might lose momentum once initial breakthroughs fade. New challenges can feel daunting, especially after experiencing moments of profound release. Emma, inner guide by staying open and trusting the process. Every challenge is an opportunity to practice surrender anew. The inner guide reminds us that surrender is not static, it's dynamic. As circumstances change, so do the ways in which we let go. This perspective shifts surrender from a singular achievement into a fluid, adaptable practice that evolves alongside us. This dialogue reassured Emma that surrender was a dynamic practice, adaptable to life's ever-changing landscape. It also reinforced the importance of remaining curious and open to learning, even in the face of uncertainty. Section 3. Navigating future challenges with grace. To help readers navigate their own future challenges, we provide practical advice and strategies. These tools ensure that surrender remains accessible and actionable, no matter what life throws your way. Strategies for continuous surrender asterisk. Mindful reflection asterisk. Regularly assess your thoughts and actions to ensure alignment with your values. Take time each week to journal about areas where resistance may be creeping back in. Ask yourself, am I holding on to anything that no longer serves me? Emotional resilience asterisk. Cultivate practices that build emotional strength, such as meditation, breath work, and journaling. Emotional resilience enables you to weather storms without losing sight of your inner truth. Community support asterisk. Surround yourself with people who encourage and inspire your growth. Whether it's friends, mentors, or support groups, having a network of like-minded individuals reinforces your commitment to surrender. Emma practiced these strategies, finding that they equipped her to face challenges with grace and resilience. For example, during a particularly stressful period at work, she leaned on her mindfulness routine and reached out to trusted colleagues for support. This combination of inner work and external connection helped her maintain balance and perspective. Section 4. Guided exercise. Creating a surrender plan. To assist readers in maintaining their surrender practice, we offer a guided exercise designed to prepare them for future hurdles while reinforcing their commitment to growth. Exercise. Surrender plan. 1. Identify potential challenges, list areas where you anticipate difficulties. These could include relationships, career transitions, health concerns, or financial uncertainties. 2. Develop strategies, for each challenge. Outline specific surrender techniques you can employ. For instance, if you're facing relationship conflicts, consider practicing active listening and releasing attachment to being right. 3. Set intentions, write down your intentions for maintaining a surrender mindset. Examples might include phrases like, I choose to trust the process, or I welcome change as an opportunity for growth. Emma completed this exercise, gaining clarity on how to approach future hurdles with a surrender mindset. By proactively preparing for challenges, she felt more confident in her ability to navigate them with ease and authenticity. Section 5. Case Studies, Stories of Continuous Growth. To further illustrate the transformative power of ongoing surrender, we explore case studies of individuals who embraced it as a lifelong practice. These stories highlight the diverse ways surrender manifests in different lives. Case Study 1. Rachel's Journey of Adaptability. Rachel, a business owner, faced numerous market changes over the years. Instead of clinging to outdated strategies, she continuously surrendered to the flow of her industry. By embracing innovation and adapting her approach, she not only survived economic downturns, but thrived, becoming a leader in her field. Case Study 2. James' Path to Resilience. James, dealing with personal setbacks, including job loss and health issues, embraced surrender as a daily practice. He used mindfulness techniques to manage stress and leaned on his community for support. Over time, he transformed adversity into strength, discovering new passions and purpose along the way. These stories inspired Emma, showing her that continuous surrender could indeed lead to enduring growth and fulfillment. They also serve as reminders to readers that no matter how challenging life becomes, surrender provides a pathway forward. Conclusion: Infinite potential through surrender. By the end of the chapter, Emma felt a deep sense of peace and excitement for the future. Surrender had become an integral part of her life, guiding her through every twist and turn. As she prepared for the day ahead, Emma reflected, surrender isn't just about letting go. It's about embracing the infinite possibilities that come with each new moment. Conclusion: a new beginning, stepping into your highest self. As we reach the end of this transformative journey, it's time to pause and reflect on how far you've come. Throughout these pages, we've explored the profound art of surrender, not as a passive act of giving up, but as an empowering choice to trust yourself, the universe, and the natural flow of life. We've dismantled myths about control, identified where resistance holds us back, practiced tools for letting go gracefully, and discovered how surrender enhances every aspect of our lives. Now, armed with insights and practical strategies, you stand at the threshold of a new beginning. Hashtag recap of key lessons learned. Let's take a moment to revisit the core lessons that have shaped this journey. 1. Surrender is not weakness. It's strength. By releasing the need for constant control, you open yourself to infinite possibilities and align with divine timing. 2. Awareness precedes transformation. Recognizing patterns of resistance, whether rooted in fear, ego, or outdated beliefs, is the first step toward breaking free. 3. Small actions create big shifts. Daily practices like mindfulness, movement, and journaling help you cultivate surrender incrementally, leading to lasting change over time. 4. Authenticity flows from surrender. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you make space for decisions and actions that are deeply aligned with your true self. 5. Surrender is a lifelong practice. It's not something you master once. It's a continuous process of growth, adaptation, and trust. These principles form the foundation of a life lived with greater ease, clarity, and purpose. They remind us that surrender doesn't mean losing ourselves. It means finding ourselves more fully. An invitation to commit. Now, the baton passes to you. The concepts and exercises shared in this book are only as powerful as your willingness to put them into practice. I invite you to commit to integrating surrender into your daily life, not as a one-time effort, but as an ongoing experiment in trust and alignment. Start small. Choose one area where you feel resistance and practice letting go. Celebrate each victory, no matter how minor it may seem, knowing that every act of surrender brings you closer to your highest self. Remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress. There will be days when surrender feels effortless, and others when old habits creep back in. That's okay. What matters most is your intention to keep showing up, keep releasing, and keep rising higher. A final message of hope and empowerment. To close, I leave you with this thought. When you let go, you make room for miracles. Miracles don't always arrive in grand gestures. They often appear in quiet moments of grace, unexpected opportunities, or subtle shifts in perspective. By embracing surrender, you allow these miracles to find their way into your life. You create space for joy, creativity, connection, and fulfillment to flourish. So, step boldly into this next chapter of your journey. Trust that you have everything you need within you to navigate whatever comes your way. Surrender doesn't ask you to abandon ambition or compromise your values. It invites you to pursue your dreams with an open heart and a willing spirit. In doing so, you'll discover that the act of letting go doesn't diminish who you are. It amplifies it. May this book serve as both a guide and a companion as you continue to rise higher. And may you carry its wisdom with you, knowing that every moment offers a fresh opportunity to let go, grow, and shine. With gratitude and love, Seraphina Hartwell. Art of Letting Go. Master the art of surrender, and unlock your true potential. 5. Spiritual Awakening Book 2. Author, Seraphina Hartwell. By Soul Sanctuary Audio. Copyright Seraphina Hartwell. For the update audiobook, click follow Soul Sanctuary Audio.